Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
We're back on the Nada Yada Island Confessions Show. Benny is about to tell us how he found 2 loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get the perfect match of both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. You heard that right. Both for just $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what lesbians about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to 2 lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Leigh Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on in the podcast or otherwise. In Season 8, we are continuing to release our Patreon bonus episodes. Our next bonus episode will be on Dix the Musical on December 16th. You can listen to those at bit.ly/LezPatreon.
Say Dix again, Ellie.
Nah, Dix. God damn it. I was trying to get through it with a smile.
We also want to remind everyone, we are going to France. Gay Paris. We're going to Bordeaux. We're going lots of places. We're going to have a great time. If you would like to join us, you can sign up at bit.ly/LesDoFrance. We have a limited number of spots. We are super excited. It's going to be March 31st to April 6th, and you should come. That's all. I'm just saying you should come. You specifically. You should come.
It's going to be so fun. In the Greater Les universe, Allie Bromley won Big Brother UK and is a big lesbian. So we are happy for the lesbian representation on Big Brother. Allie's also been saying some really interesting things about coming out and LGBTQ representation. And so I feel like it's good, it's good to have more gay shit on our TVs.
Speaking of gay shit on our TVs, Sophia Bush went on Grey's Anatomy. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy, but I do know that some stuff happened. For one thing, I know that she kissed Teddy, I think,
yes,
right, on the show. And I also know through the social media grapevine that they had her say out loud on camera the line, "I don't make a habit of going around kissing other people's wives."
Oh.
And truly...
People have lost it, huh?
Truly, just all of the awards to whoever wrote that in the script and got away with it. Because so funny. So fucking funny. I'm so sorry.
Damn.
Messy and funny and amazing. So just props to whoever wrote that episode. That's all.
Love it. Also, Kelly Marie Tran just came out talking about her new movie where she is going to be playing Lily Gladstone's love interest. And the whole movie is about lavender marriage, right? Which we have been talking about considering all the shit that's been going on lately. So I'm excited to see the movie. Tran and Gladstone are trying to have a baby and their best friends are also a gay couple. Bowen Yang is in the movie. It's going to be amazing. And so they decide to fake marry each other. And so I feel like it's going to be a great story. Can't wait to see it.
Incredible. That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Leigh.
Thanks, Ellie and Leigh, and welcome to our 137th installment of Should Have Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, if you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. Their honestly soundtrack options were
so good,
wild, were unlimited in this movie.
I know.
Wow. Ellie,
I know.
We're doing it. I feel like this has been on our list for
This
forever.
has been on our list for a really long time, and I'm so excited we're getting to it because the gay is just endless.
I have to tell you the best story after we do our synopses.
Can't
okay?
wait.
Okay. We are here today to talk about the one, the only Romy and Michelle's high school reunion, 1997 hit film. The
Bop.
IMDb synopsis is as follows. Two dim-witted, inseparable friends hit the road for their 10-year high school reunion and concoct an elaborate lie about their lives in order to impress their classmates.
Okay.
Honestly, as far as IMDb synopses go, that's not bad. We've had worse.
It's quite accurate. It is quite accurate.
Hit me with your gay synopsis, Ellie.
Okay. Two high school sweethearts, Romy and Michele, live together, play together, support each other, dance together, and go to their get in a gigantic breakup fight before their high school reunion, and make up finally and live their beautiful dreams of being fashion designers together in this lovely story about the long-lasting impact of a high school lesbian relationship. That's what I saw.
So true. My gay synopsis is a little different for this one. My gay synopsis for the movie is I have read this fan fiction possibly 100 times. It just had like a slightly different ending.
Yes.
Every time. But I've read this, right?
Yes, a million times. Yes.
Like this is a fan fiction.
Oh,
what is
every
happening?
single
How
part
did
of
they
it.
fuck up the ending? How
I
did
know.
you drop the ball? I don't understand. I don't understand.
It's so good. It's so good and gay. Like I ship them so hard. It's insane.
Okay, tell me your experience, and then I have to tell you. I have to tell you some stories about this.
I can't wait. So for me, I feel like I saw this movie. I feel like this movie was like constantly running on like ABC Family or some shit. Like one of those like random things, right? Where it was like the rerun of this film would constantly be on. So I feel like I have seen this movie quite a few times when I was younger. And the other day, I don't know, I was just like scrolling through. Currently it's on Hulu, and I was just like looking through and I was like, wait, I forgot this movie. I must rewatch it. And the second I started it, I texted you. Because I was like, this is gayer than I thought. And I knew it would be gay. So I watched it again last night. And yeah, the gay, it really hits. It really hits. Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay. My experience with this movie. Would you believe I had never seen this?
I would believe it. And also, it's funny to me because this movie is funny because this movie is your kind of movie, I feel.
It's my kind of movie, and I feel like it wasn't not like it's not like I didn't hear about it. It's not like it wasn't around during sort of like peak eras for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just somehow never saw this movie. Okay?
I can't believe you escaped the clutches of this movie.
I know. I'm
this long.
honestly disappointed in myself. I feel like this would have been a whole like year of my personality in high school easily.
Oh, easily.
I'd never seen it. I watched it last night for the first time. Here's the thing. This is 137, listeners. Like, Ellie and I have done a lot of these. Realistically, I actually don't take notes that much anymore on movies all the time because typically I'm watching them kind of in the days leading up to when we record. Everything's fresh. We've got the formula down. I don't actually write down a lot. I was taking notes because I was like, no, I'm going to forget. There's so many things. Like I got 5 minutes in and I was like, I'm not going to be able to hold everything in my head. I need to be writing these things down. It's so wildly gay. I can't believe what's happening. Right?
Yes.
Like literally just that first conversation at the club.
Yeah, where she literally is like, should we be lesbians?
Yes. Yeah. I was like, oh no, I gotta get my phone out.
Yeah. Honestly,
I need to be typing.
Thank you for writing it down because I didn't write things down because I was like, I'm in it. I'm like vibing on this film. But I'm like, I can remember most of it. Like, I'm like the twin beds side by side in their shared apartment. The like, I've been supporting you through your unemployment.
I've read this fucking fake, Ellie. I'm not going to stop saying it, okay? So here's the thing. So we're watching this movie. Yeah. I'm taking copious notes on every single thing that happened. I have like multiple quotes written down. I was like, I don't know. I can't stop. Once I started, I can't stop.
The quotes are so good.
It's out of control.
Yeah.
Okay. So simultaneously, Kelsey is texting like one of her best friends, being like, "Oh, hey, we're watching Romy and Michele for Lee's podcast," right? A friend who sometimes listens to this show but is not gay. So like, shout out Joy if you're listening. Sorry, I'm going to tell this story, but I have to tell this story. So okay, so she's texting her friend to be like, "Oh my God, we're watching Romy and Michele for Lee's podcast," and her friend texts back and she's like, "Oh, but like, you know, listen, I kind of really love that movie as just like a platonic best friend story." Because like she knows how we do should have been gays. Like she's listened to the show before. She gets the deal, right? And so she's like, "I'm totally behind the should have been gay thing. Like I get it." And she's like, "But I actually really love that movie as like a platonic story. Like it reminds me of like my BFF from high school and like our relationship. And like it's like our kindred spirit movie." And Kelsey texts her back immediately and she's like, they offered to have sex with each other like literally within the first 5 minutes.
Literally.
And her friend is like, her friend's like, "I don't remember that, maybe. Wait." And then as we keep watching the movie, I was like, I am deeply, deeply concerned for Joy's friendship with her best friend from high school. And I have a lot of questions, actually.
Sorry,
if
Joy.
you think this, because like, listen, I get like our whole shtick is like we have never seen a straight movie.
Yes, and
heterosexuality exists in myths only for the purposes of should have been gay.
Plenty of people talk to us about how like, why can't girls just be friends? Fine, I agree.
Of course they can. That's not the point. That's not why we're here.
We're not here for that.
That's not why we're here. That's not why we do these. But sometimes we are stretching. And we are like coming up with our headcanon. We are reinventing the storyline. We are recasting in our minds. Other times you're watching a movie and you're like, this is the gayest movie that I've ever seen in my life. Romy and Michele, my friends, this is a gay movie.
This is there's no
other way to interpret
been
this.
Gay, right? The subtext is texting.
It
is texting. Like it is
wild.
Crazy.
These are
platonic. Even if we're gonna agree that they don't have sex in this film, this is platonic life partners. These women would marry each other and fuck men on the side. Like they can both be bisexual and in an open scenario.
Would they though? Are they into men?
No, they don't
open
care about
question.
it. They clearly don't care about men. My point is, they are life partners. They are more. They are significantly, excessively more than best friends.
Yes.
Like,
and I've got to tell you, this is just me as well, but like as someone who has read a lot of Leah Fatten, The Wilds fan fiction, boy, I can't tell you how much they love to do this with them, right? It's like, no, we've just trauma bonded, and that's why we are inseparable and attached and only want to spend our lives with each other. That's why, oh no, we're in love, right? Like I was like, I swear to God, I've read this. Like, so for anyone who's not familiar with, in case you like me, if you were like me and you've never seen Romy and Michele's high school reunion, let me give you a quick plot recap a la This Is a Fic I've Read, okay? You have two best friends. They were best friends in high school when they were both deeply unpopular and uncool. We are picking up the story 10 years after high school, where they live together in, as far as I can tell, a studio apartment with their beds. There is maybe 6 inches of space. Like they're not completely pushed together. They're not touching quite yet. But you get the sense that they've sort of migrated closer over those 10 years. Like, like maybe they started on opposite walls and then they're like, oh, I can't see the TV so well. Me neither. And they've just been progressively getting closer and closer together.
It's giving I Love Lucy twin beds.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, it's giving like...
They're married a la 1950s.
Yeah, they're 1950s married. That's what it's giving.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they have their beds pushed together in their studio apartment. They're watching rom-coms together. They share a closet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They love to watch Pretty Woman together.
They love to watch Pretty Women together. They're sharing a closet together. They're getting dressed and like commenting on each other's bodies like you do with your platonic roommate.
They literally, wait, do you have the quote from that scene? All right, sorry.
No, I should have started writing down quotes earlier. I wasn't prepared for like how much I was going to need to keep in my head.
Funny. Like they literally were like, oh my God, you look so cute, I could die. Or the other one's like, oh my God, you look so cute. And like, isn't it great we can tell each other how hot we are and we're not conceited about it?
It's just the truth.
It's just the truth. We're just both so hot and we want to tell each other how hot we are.
It's wild.
It's so good.
It's wild. So they They go to clubs together. They get dressed up to go out to clubs. A club that I need to be like extremely clear is packed full of men. Packed. Like, there are so many camera shots of men at this club. It's ludicrous that the next line we hear is one of them saying, once again, there's no men here.
I didn't see one. I also really was like, this has to be a gay club.
This is not the first time.
Yeah.
Not the first time they've done this, to walk into a club
And find no men.
absolutely
Yeah.
packed to the gills full of men and go to each other. Looks like there's no men here. Guess we need
Guess
to
we have to dance with each
together.
other. Yeah.
And then while they're dancing together, immediately have a conversation about maybe we should just be lesbians. I'm not gonna make it through this episode, Ellie.
It's so funny. But it also is giving such
I
late
can't keep it
it's
together.
giving such late 90s because it's like, okay, like it's a joke, question mark. And also Lisa
Yes.
Kudrow sells it so much that you're like, she's not kidding.
No,
Like
no.
Romy's like,
Well,
oh,
Lisa
I don't think so. And Lisa Kudrow's like, oh, okay.
Lisa Kudrow is the blueprint for Britney S. Pierce in this movie.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
1000%. She is just like, I'm just ditzy and like want to have sex. Mira Sorvino is giving full dyke in this movie. Like, I will not apologize for it. Her vibe is gay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the direction was, like, whatever the director was telling her, the end result is like, she is gay from the second she opens her mouth, and it never stops. Like, something about how she talks gives, like, I'm gay, but I'm trying to hide it, right? It just gives
it never
closeted.
ends.
And so they have these insane conversations like this where she's like, do you want to just have sex with each other sometime? and then Mira Sorvino says, I swear to God, the gayest way I can imagine, like, this line does nothing to dissuade me from how gay she is in this movie, because she says, no, like, just the thought of having sex with a woman just repulses me, or like whatever. I didn't write it down.
Yep.
But that's what she says, but somehow says it in that way where you're like, oh, honey.
No, it is
like,
giving...
who hasn't said?
Yeah,
We've all said
I've
this
said
at one
it,
point in
I've
our
said
lives.
it. We've all said it. She's like, girls are
all
hot,
been
but I
there.
could never go down on them.
I could never, I just don't think I could have sex with another woman in the gayest way you've ever heard that sentence come out of someone's mouth,
Yep.
right? Like the denial that every sapphic has said at some point during their coming out process,
It's
that
so
is how
strong.
Mira Sorvino
It's so
delivers that line. And then, because she follows it up so immediately with like, but if we're both single by the time we're 30, like, maybe let's just get married, right?
Yes,
Like,
and you realize they are 28.
yes.
So that's,
Yes.
that's only 2 years.
Yes.
That's only
Yes.
2 fucking years from now that
That's-
she's like, okay, if in 2 years we're single, which most likely we will be because we go to this club and we don't speak to men.
There's no men here. I'm looking around and I see no men. Excuse me, sir, get off of me. No men here.
If we're still single, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
know.
29. I don't know. I'm getting kind of old. Maybe just
Yeah,
Do you want to
exactly.
just try it when we get home?
Also,
Anyways.
I'm like, how many people have got engaged and then get married 2 years later? I'm like, so she just proposed and
She
then was
just
like, in
proposed.
2 years we can get married. And then I think,
Listen.
Lisa Kudrow also, I think, says like, well, maybe we just try it.
yes.
Right? She
Yeah.
literally is like, how about we
Yeah.
just test it out? Because then we can actually know.
They are both. They
if
are
you're
both doing
repulsed.
the gayest conversation of like, if you like, I wouldn't be into it, but like, if you wanted to try it, like, I would be here for you, but like, I wouldn't be into it at all.
Yeah, like,
no,
I'll just
me
lay-
neither.
I'll just
I
lay
wouldn't-
there.
I don't
Yeah.
think I'd enjoy it, but like, who knows? I mean, we should just, maybe get married in 2 years. Anyways, bye. Oh God, I just straight out the gate, I was like, oh wow,
Oh.
wow.
It was so quick. It was so quick.
It was so quick.
Yeah.
Listen, once again, I need to stress that if anyone is looking for a Leah and Fatten fanfiction that revolves around a agreement to get married at age 30 if they're both single, hit
This
me
is
up.
it.
I got the link. I'll drop the link. Anyways, so okay, sorry. I'm trying to just give a plot synopsis.
I'm so
and
sorry.
failing
I'm so
because
sorry.
it's so gay.
Sorry, finish the
no,
plot, finish the
no,
plot.
it's not your fault. It's me, Ellie. I can't do it. This movie's gonna break me.
It's
So-
so gay.
We move to Romy's job where she works at a cashier at like a car
Jaguar.
Jaguar repair dealer, like the dealer repair shop, right? Okay. And she runs into an old high school friend in quotations,
Yeah.
right? I mean, friend is pushing it. But anyways, runs into a girl from her high school who's like, "Oh, are you going to the reunion?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And the girl's like, "Our 10-year high school reunion." And they didn't know. And so they start doing this, Romy and Michele start going through their high school yearbook, and they are reminiscing back to high school, and then realizing, well, over the course of their reminiscing, they're like, we have to go back to our high school reunion to show everyone how cool and awesome we are now, since we weren't that cool and awesome in high school. As they start planning for this, they realize, wait a minute, are we
still
cool
not
and
cool
awesome?
and awesome.
Are we cool and awesome? And so they decide to go back and lie at their high school reunion. Pre-Google, everyone. This was possible. We're going to go back and lie and pretend that we're like successful businesswomen, and it all goes bad and they cannot stand to be in a fight. So that's the basic plot. Okay.
Yes.
But what the movie consists of is just constant, endless jumping between high school flashbacks of them attached at the hip, modern day them attached at the hip, the whole movie being about our lives are joined, and that cannot change.
Yes.
And the idea of it changing is like physically unbearable to both of us. That's the movie.
That is the
okay?
movie. The movie. And
the only difference between that and a 1,000 fan fictions is they don't fuck at the end.
it's the only difference.
That's the only difference.
Well, it is
I
also,
swear to God.
it is very much right. It is a movie about their friendship, right? But it is a movie about their codependent relationship.
Yes.
Like anywhere they go, right? So they are on their way, right? They get in this gigantic fight. When they get, and we can talk also, there's like plenty of other stuff in the middle, but like when they go to the reunion, right? They're separated because they're fighting. Anytime anyone is talking to them, they're like, where's Romy? Where's Michele? It's very much like when you're out and like your girlfriend isn't there and they're like, where's your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like every single person associates them
every single person
together.
Yes.
Like they are so together. It is like Romy and Michele. There's no Romy, there's no Michele. There's just Romy and Michele.
Yeah.
Through the entire film. It's
because they go together. Because nobody questions.
They've been together for 10 years, Leigh.
Yeah.
For 10 years. Also, okay, so sorry, to go
just
back.
Sliding their beds across the
literally.
apartment.
To go back to the beginning, too, I feel like so we see their like current life, right?
Okay.
Then we go back to their high school and they're like, we are going to live in LA, right?
Okay, wait. I did write down this quote.
Okay, great.
I did write down this quote. This is Romy speaking to Michele in high school, right? Where they're like, we're going to get away from all of this. People are mean to us and people are laughing at us. And the quote, she goes, I can't wait till we move to LA. Everything's going to happen for us there, Michele, and we'll never look back.
I know.
That is, we're going to move out to California
to
where we
city.
can be gay.
Yes.
And we'll never go back in the closet ever again. And in some ways, like, you feel like they know. You feel like they know.
They do.
And yet they don't seem to know.
I know. It's like they're bullied for being different, aka gay.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, we want to escape our bullies and go to the land where we can be ourselves. And sorry to fast forward, but I'm like, at the end, right, when they're like, because they're like, oh, we didn't have a cool life. Michele says to Romy, like, I thought our life was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you look at like, the only thing about their life was that they were together.
Yes. Yes. Michele was like, I am fully unemployed.
I am fully unemployed, right? I have literally nothing.
My life is incredible.
Right? I have nothing else in my life except spending time with my lover.
They don't seem to have any friends. Any other friends?
No friends.
No.
Like, they design clothes together.
Yeah.
They
spend all their time together.
all their time together. And she's like, I thought our life was amazing. That is what you say to someone that you're fucking in love with.
Yes.
My life is amazing because
Ellie.
I'm with you. There's nothing else I need. She doesn't need money. She doesn't need a thing.
That last conversation that they have at the end of the reunion when they're in that side room together, I just kept like out loud while we were watching it. So one of them would say a sentence, and then out loud multiple times I would just go, because I'm in love with you.
Yes.
And add that to any sentence
Anything.
that she is saying, and it's like that is the vibe.
Yes.
Like I thought our life was incredible because I'm in love with you.
Yep.
I can't stand to be mad at you because I'm in love with you.
Yep.
That you can just add it to the end of literally any sentence that they say, and the scene's 100 times better.
Mm-hmm.
And makes more sense in the context of what we've seen.
Yep.
Because we jumped over one other important thing that I want us to talk about before we even get to their being bullied and being teased and wanting to move to LA. They start their high school flashbacks. They open up, crack the spine on their high school yearbook to what?
I forget what it is.
It is their senior photo. No, sorry, that's incorrect. It is their senior photo because there is one photo of the two of them in their high school senior yearbook. They took their senior photo together and they start their journey down memory lane saying, yeah, remember how they didn't want to let us take a photo together? They wanted, like, this guy whose last name is between our last names was like, I should be in the middle. And they were like, oh, if you want to be in the middle of us, like, come over this weekend. And then he did. And then we laughed him out of our house. Like,
Yes, I forgot about that. They were like, it was a joke. Every time they try to get with a man, it's a joke.
It's a joke. They can't do it. And so they have the very first reminiscent thing is being like, oh yeah, haha, remember how they thought we could separate for long enough to even take a fucking picture separately? Laughable that anyone thought that was gonna happen. We can't do it. We can't do it. We had to be in one photo together. And like, also, haha, remember how we used to like literally make a comical situation out of like
Ever being with
making
a
men
man.
think they could
Yes.
ever be with us.
Well,
like,
and also just to talk about
so insane.
just to talk about the men, right? So, because of course, there's like stupid men love stories, but like I wouldn't even consider them love stories, right?
yeah.
So, Romy is in love with like the most popular boy in school, which like how many times have we
God,
talked about?
A tale as old as time.
The lesbian
literally.
who's like, let me pick, oh,
beep, beep, beep,
like
beep, beep, that
the,
guy.
Yeah, the most hot man I can find. Because he must be
Yes.
hot. I know nothing about him, but I know that other people want him. Therefore, I should want him. Right?
He's the one for me.
And Michelle's not even pretending. That's the most funny thing about
No.
Michelle. This man, Sandy Frank, is in love with her. And she could give it 2 shits about this man.
Yeah.
2 shits. Like, and so those are their two, like, Sandy Frank also played by Alan Cumming, which thank God.
Fucking love him.
But like, both of these like male love storylines are so weak
Yeah.
that it's laughable.
It's not even just that they're weak and laughable, which they are. There's also something really specific about the Billy Christensen storyline to me, because they make him so unappealing
Mm-hmm.
that like even this movie can't get behind a straight ship, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like they can't even try to be like, oh, she had a crush on like the popular jock and he was just out of her league. They're like, no, they characterize this man in high school as being like borderline mentally challenged, right? Like he looks like he is not passing a lot of math classes, right? The way that
He
the way that they're
is
playing
one
this character.
concussion away from a coma. Yes.
Yeah. The CTE came early for Billy Christensen. And as an adult, they go out of their way to be like, look at him. He's got a beer belly. He is puking in the bushes. He is trying to cheat on his wife. He's disgusting. He is so like, they don't make any attempt to, he is like vomit smeared on the side of his face, shiny and disgusting, like trying to hit on Roby. They go to such great lengths to make him so clearly not an object of desire, right? This is not like, oh, she wanted the popular guy and he's just still an asshole.
So clearly it's fake. Like, so clearly it is just like, it's just an idea, right? It's like
it's an
idea of a man.
here is a convenient beard,
Yes.
like, idol to like prop up in the corner. But I think it's interesting that the movie does not try even to like make him in any way attractive or redeemable to us.
Well, because I do think also the text of the film, right? That's what I'm saying. It's texting fucking hard. Is like, we were gay.
Yeah.
And losers, quote unquote. And the movie is saying like the popular straight, like it's basically saying straight people suck.
Straight people
Like,
suck.
It literally
Straight
is like
people
these
are the worst.
These straight people suck, right?
Yeah.
They have horrible, meaningless relationships. Like there's no meaningful heterosexual relationships in this film, even the ones that are like Billy and whatever the fuck her name is, and his wife, right?
Yeah.
And the straight bitches suck, right? Those 4. The one girl who's the Vogue editor.
The fucking dyke.
The
Yeah, we'll get to
power
her.
dyke.
Don't worry. Lisa Luder. We're gonna talk
Lisa
about.
Luder, I love. Lisa Luder. I'm like
An icon, honestly.
I was gonna say Lisa.
Fucking slay,
Lisa
Lisa.
Luder touches cooters.
She has touched one or two, I promise you. Yeah, she's a.
But yes, we'll get to her. But my point
Talk
is
about
like
a glow up, man.
my point is like the men, like even in high school, it's like, okay, so in their flashback, she's like, I'm gonna dance with Billy, right? Billy doesn't dance with her. He's a dick. He leaves. And they end up the night together again.
Yeah. I'll dance with you, Romy.
And
okay.
it's the most like romantic dance I've ever seen. They hold each other so close.
Yeah.
Like she puts her head on her shoulder. Like it is not a platonic dance.
Yeah.
No, it is
a
not.
whole lot.
And that's like 15 minutes into the film.
Yeah. Also just on their high school gayness. So we have Billy Christensen, who is a joke of a beard for Romy. And then can we discuss the guy that Michele says she had a crush on? And it's the gay theater dude.
Yes. She's like, I don't know why he wasn't interested.
I had the biggest crush on him. And also his name is Casey. So I would like to point out that we get 2 men in the, orbit of Michele's interactions with men. And their names are Sandy and Casey. And I feel like she's just practicing, quite honestly.
No, she really is. She's like
let
building
me
up
pick
the gays.
Yeah.
Let me pick the nerds. Like,
yeah.
None of these men, like they're the least threatening men.
Yes. Yeah. She's like, I'm going to pick a gay dude. Sandy Frank's actually interested in me. I will not go near him.
Yep.
It's something. I'm just going to dance with Romy at prom because that's our
what
life.
You do with your girlfriend.
That's our life. Yeah, incredible. So let's take a hot break here. Let's come back and talk some more about how fucking gay this movie is. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/Lez Hang Out today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lez Hang Out.
Lez Hang Out.
You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Streaming December 12th on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back.
That's hot. Loves it.
For a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back. Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special, streaming December 12th, only on Peacock.
Okay, Ellie, I need to dive us back in with a couple things where I did write down some quotes because I have so
Thank
many
God.
and they're so insane. So, okay. We do the whole flashback. We learn about like the crushes, unrequited crushes on both directions, you know, Romy's towards Billy, Sandy's towards Michele, whatever. We learn that they were unpopular. This is when they sort of hit this turning point where they're like, we're going to go back to reunion and we're going to show everyone how cool we are now. Like, no one's going to believe how awesome our life is. Quote from Michele about how everyone's going to be so impressed. She goes, "Look at the way we live. I mean, just our lifestyle, you know?"
Oh my God. Your gay lifestyle.
1997, folks.
The lifestyle.
The lifestyle.
TM. But legit,
Wild.
their life, that's what's so funny about it. Their lifestyle is one of them is unemployed.
Yes. But what's funny is she doesn't see it that way. She's like, everyone would be jealous of this, right?
Yes.
Which I actually deeply resonate with because, like, as you and I talk about all the time, when people are like, I mean, who cares if you're gay? And we're like, being gay is the coolest fucking thing ever. What are you talking about?
Exactly. The
But you
only cool
forget
thing
sometimes
that you're unemployed.
No, you forget. Yeah, yes. You forget sometimes that to straight people, just the act of living a gay life doesn't seem as cool to them as it does to us, right? Like, of course you're like, how would anyone not think that this is the dopest thing ever? Look, we live together.
Look, we fuck. Why wouldn't they love this?
Like, I don't understand. But then, so they start filling out their little questionnaires.
Yes.
Right? And they get to the sections where it's like, married, no. Engaged, no. And you sort of get the feeling that there's like a question mark towards each other at each one, right? It's like,
Yeah, they're
married?
like, are we?
No, we're not, right? No, yeah, no,
Okay,
of course not. Okay, engaged, no. Living with someone?
Yeah, the living with someone was so funny to me.
It's like they can't answer a question about their relationship status without it being about the two of
Each
them.
other, yeah.
About each other. They're like, how do I frame this? Like, I mean, this was far pre-DOMA, everyone. So, like, you know, their options were limited. Just wild. Like, wild. Like, that is a conversation that dykes be having, y'all. That is so what are we?
What are we? Exactly. Like,
they're trying to DTR on their high school
they're literally like,
reunion
so
form.
Do I write domestic partner or is that
what state? What's the deal in California now? What's
yeah.
the Crazy. Okay, other quotes that I wrote down. So part of their whole thing is they decide, okay, we're going to get jobs, get boyfriends, lose weight, look hot, go to reunion. On their lose weight, look hot journey, they're just sort of at gyms endlessly. Can we discuss really quick? So there's one of the early scenes, they're in a spin class.
Yes, the spin class. I know you. Yeah, this is so funny.
They're in a spin class and the teacher starts being like, okay, let's jump. Or like, I don't know what she
she's
calls
like up
it.
and down or whatever.
Yeah, they start bouncing on their spin bike seats. So they are just sort of doing this, like, imagine, if you will, a rhythmic motion of
Up
your
and down.
hips up and down over a bike seat. And cue Romy turning to Michele and going, hey, Michele, what does this remind you of?
Exactly. I'm like...
To which I raise both eyebrows extremely high in the air and go, what, ladies?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, what does this remind you of? Last night?
Yeah.
Because
like, what is it supposed to remind her of, Romy? Explain it to me in terms that I'm going to understand.
They clearly don't have sex with men.
Correct.
So that's the funniest thing about it is she's like, what does this remind you of? Our sex together.
What does me bouncing up and down on this bike seat remind you of, Romy? What's it remind you of? Okay, they don't have sex with men. They not just don't have sex with men, Ellie. They don't have sex with men so hard that I swear to God, the next scene after that is when Romy goes back to the club to find them boyfriends. And listen, if I describe any one scene in this movie in extreme detail, I need our listeners to know. If you have never seen this movie, here's the scene that you need to know about. Romy is on a mission. The mission is get them boyfriends, okay? Any boyfriends, they just need to show up with men to their high school reunion is the plan. So she goes to a club where a man immediately comes up and starts talking to her. Okay? To which she responds, I am sorry. I cut my foot and my shoe is filling up with blood and I need to leave. And then proceeds to drag limp her foot, like commits to the bit so hard that she's like, I'm so sorry, my shoe is filling up with blood, and limps her way, dragging her foot behind her like 12 feet to the door of this club. Once again, jam-packed with men. Okay? So Operation Find a Boyfriend involved one man aggressively coming up to hit on her, and Romy, for no reason given, giving the weirdest excuse one could ever come up with and aggressively removing herself from the situation as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah. It gives gay panic so hard.
What?
It's so funny, too. Because, okay, I also was like, what the fuck? But then her excuse to Michele, where she was like, can't find a man, Michele.
No men at the club.
No men. Couldn't find one. She's like, none of them have good jobs. And I'm like, your girlfriend's unemployed.
Unemployed, literally.
What do you care about what kind of job these men have? Like, you know what I mean? It's just giving like, I will make any excuse to not sleep with any of these men.
Insane.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Absolutely insane. Let's look at some more of Romy's interactions with men, shall we? Because then she's like, we need to have a hot car. We can't show up in our car, which we share because we are in a domestic partnership. So I need a hot car. I've got an idea. She goes to work. She's finding Ramon, who is the, sexual stallion mechanic who works at the Jaguar dealership and is clearly into Romy, and she has zero interest in him. So she goes to find Ramon, and she's like, Ramon, I need your car. Heard you've got a hot car. I need to borrow it. And he's like, Romy, what do I get if I let you borrow my car? With the clear vibes of fuck me, Romy.
Yeah, please have sex with me.
And Romy immediately is like,
no way in hell.
I am not sleeping with you. Like, that's not even a question. There's no discussion of this. That will never happen. And he settles instead for the least convincing someone
literally
pretending audibly to have sex with a man in a door or a room with the door closed and the blinds drawn. It's like Easy A.
It's giving
that
Easy A
scene.
so
Yeah.
hard. It's giving virgin pretending to have sex.
Yes. Oh, Ramon, you are a stallion, Ramon. Is that an earthquake? No, it's Ramon. Like, it is
It's so good.
wild.
Well,
It's
and my favorite thing
wild.
about it is, okay, so that's, whatever scene. After that scene, when she gets the car, she tells Michele, like, how she got the car, whatever. And she's like, you wouldn't really believe I would sleep with Ramon, right?
No, it's not even sleeping with Ramon. She makes a joke where Michelle's like, how did you get the car? And she's like, oh, I had to give all the mechanics at work hand jobs, right?
Yeah.
And Michelle's like, oh, cool, I was doing this other thing. And the look of immediate heartbreak on Romy's face when she's like,
Michelle, of course I wouldn't sleep with other people besides you.
I'm kidding. Like, do you actually think I would give a man a hand job for a car? She's like, she's begging Michelle to like see how in love with her she is. Right?
It's wild. That she's like, baby,
do
I would never.
you think I would?
I would never give those men a hand job. Why would you ever think that?
It's that to a level that is like wild.
Yes. It's
wild.
so
and again,
funny.
listen, if you are trying to read this movie as a straight movie, why?
There's literally no reason
Why?
to. There's literally no reason.
Why is that supposed to be a heartbreaking, unimaginable thing for Michelle to think about her? Why? I can't come up with a reason that makes sense.
The amount of my straight friends who would brag about giving a hand job, like that, there's a lot of them. All right?
Like, I got this car and all I had to do was a handy. Like,
that's a straight thing to do. Sorry.
That's a straight thing to do. So I don't understand why she looks like that, why she responds that way, why she says that. Like, it doesn't
make any sense.
Unless they're in love with each other
Yes.
and pining desperately for each other. Like, it doesn't make any
Exactly.
sense.
Straight best friends would not give a shit that you gave a man a hand job.
No.
Cool.
No. Listen,
Thanks for
when
the
I went
car.
to high school, the straight best friends in my high school, like, their running thing was like, oh, we finish guys for each other at parties. Like, ha, ha, ha. And
What
you're
the
like,
hell?
fucking gross, but like,
Wait,
I don't know,
sorry, Leigh,
man.
don't just throw that at me. That's so gross.
Oh, Listen, we've all got PTSD from high school, okay? Straight girls, that's the kind of shit they say. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen,
Have I talked to a
did
straight
it make
girl in a
sense to
while?
me then?
I don't know, but
No. Does it make sense to me now? No. But that is for sure. Listen, Ellie, I'm not even joking. 2 of the girls I went to high school with ran their whole campaign for winning best friends superlatives in the yearbook was that.
They gave men hand jobs together?
Best friends finish guys for each other. I think one of them walked in on the other one and a guy at a party and was like, I'll take it from here. I don't know, man. I clearly was at none of those parties. I was so cool in high school, everyone. Don't forget it, okay?
Wow.
Cool then, cool now.
See, that's what straight best friends do. Not
That's
what
what
these
straight
gay
best
bitches
friends
are
do.
doing.
Yes. This is not heterosexual behavior, okay? Heterosexual behavior is not the immediate, like, tears brimming in your eyes, like, how could you ever think I would give a man a hand job? That's not it. So, okay. They get in the car. They're on their way to reunion. They get in a fight. Because listen, I'm sure like tensions are high. You've been hiding your feelings for each other for a fucking
10
decade.
years.
Like you're about to head back to your like closeted high school
I know, it's gotta be
years.
hard.
Like I'm sure it's bringing up a lot of things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They get in a big fight. They decide they're going to like do reunions separately and they are going to lie that they invented Post-its and they are not friends anymore. Okay? And I would like to say that there's a brief like fever dream sequence.
Yes, this dream sequence is so funny.
The dream sequence is a whole lot. So the dream sequence is Michelle's body's attempt to process them being in a fight. And her body's way of processing that is to be like, I'm going to fever dream the whole reunion night where I am a genius and I wow everyone with how smart I am. Sandy Frink comes back looking like the fucking scariest man alive.
Yes.
And
the
I marry
prosthetics
him.
are insane.
It's a lot. And Michelle marries Billy Christensen. And we don't talk for like 70 years. And then I call her on her deathbed. And because I like can't stand being away from her. At one point in that dream sequence, you know that I love to dig too deep into symbolism of things that happen or that people say, I would like to just spend a little bit of time on one important quote from Michele, which is that when she is making out with Sandy Frank in the limo in this dream and then has to go in because, they're voting on who won like the best...
Most improved
since high school. Like the votes are in and they're going to announce. And she goes in to win her award for most improved since high school. But she's been making out with Sandy Frank and she can't find her shirt and she's totally topless.
Sorry, I'm topless.
So I just want to comment on the exact wording that she uses, which is to walk in and say, "I'm so sorry, everyone. I couldn't find my top."
Oh, Romy's her top.
Romy's her top.
Aw, I see
Right?
Romy as a bit more of a bottom, but I see this.
I can tell you why she's not. And I can tell you how the movie tells us that she's not.
Great.
So she goes in, not only does Michele walk into that scene and say, like, "I'm so sorry I couldn't find my top," in a dream sequence in this movie that is entirely about her being separated from Romy.
Mhm.
But when they have the whole debrief in that side room after the reunion, and she's like, "Fuck them all. Like, our life is great. Let's just be ourselves."
Mm-hmm.
There's a response from Romy where she goes, "You're so bossy and domineering.
I know.
Like it's never happened before." And then she goes, I like it.
I
So
know
I-
that.
You can argue all you want, but I know who the top is in that relationship, okay?
That scene, I was like, oh my God, she really is like, please dom me.
Yes.
That was wild. I also
All of a sudden, Romy's like, maybe you could also top.
yeah,
and I'm
she's like,
into it.
oh, weird. After 10 years,
Yeah.
you're finally be a top. But
Hey, you can learn stuff about each other after 10
After
years,
10
folks. That's the
years.
important message of Romy and Michele.
I also would like to, speaking of symbolism, I also would like to
Yes.
talk about the symbolism of the clothing. Okay, so they wear like super bright colors when they're in LA, right? They have these like super
Yeah.
bright, like even when they're working out, they like are in heels, right? They're high femme, right? When they go to the reunion, they wear these like suits to be businesswomen and they pull their hair up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All black suits. Both of
All
them.
black suits, no color, right?
Yeah.
And that's when they get in a fight, right? And then when they come back together and they make up, they're like, fuck it. Take it off. Bright outfits, right? Gay. So to me, as we're talking about like going back in the closet, they physically put themselves in the closet. Like they wear outfits that they're like straight businesswomen would wear. Well, to be fair, they don't look like straight businesswomen, but they're like boring people who are not gay
Yeah.
would wear this gray suit. And then once they're like, fuck it, let's just be gay with these people, they're like back to their flamboyance.
It's like all
they're-
the thinly veiled symbolism of like a Taylor
Exactly.
Swift music video.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, and they're coming out again
Yeah.
as themselves together. And what do they do when they're dressed up like that? Dance with
Well,
Sandy Frank.
Well, Sandy Frank shows up. No, it's not even they dance with Sandy Frank.
They
Sandy
dance
Frank,
next to Sandy Frank.
Sandy Frank shows up and goes straight up to Michele, and he's like, "Michele, like, I'm still into you. Do you want to dance?" And she answers, "Only if Romy can dance with us." Even with like a fucking billionaire throwing himself at her, Romy is like, only if
my
Romy
girlfriend
is
can dance
involved.
with us. Yeah.
And then they proceed to have what I am going to consider the world's weirdest threesome, like, interpretive dance moment that you'll ever see.
I will say, of all the things in this film, that's the thing that's like burned into my brain. Like when I think of
Yeah.
Romy and Michelle's high school reunion, I think of that three-way.
It's crazy.
It's so funny. It's like Alan coming rolling on the ground. Like,
It's wild.
It's so wild. It's so
So
wild.
they have a dance threesome at reunion, and then Sandy's like, "Come away in my helicopter," right? So they both go climb into a helicopter. I mean, okay, listen, fine. I'm gonna say Michele kisses him. It's meh.
Nah, fine.
It's fine, right? That's the last you see of Sandy Frank,
Mm-hmm.
because the end of this movie is not Michele and Sandy Frank.
Mm-hmm.
The end of this movie is Romy and fucking Michele opening their own business together.
Yep.
I don't see any reason to assume they are not still living in that studio.
Well,
The
I
only
feel
difference
like
is
there
now
might
they
not-
get to go to work together every day, all day.
Yes. I feel like they might not be living in the studio. They probably upgraded.
Yeah, they might have upgraded.
Like they might have a one bedroom.
But you know what else is crazy? Is like they don't say like, "Oh, you and Sandy," like ever. There's no
They
mention
do mention Sandy.
of
No, but
they
only
mentioned
because
not
he
Michelle.
Only because he invests in the business. I agree.
Yeah.
He's
it's not
an
like,
investor.
Oh, when
He's
you
not
go
her
home
boyfriend.
to Sandy tonight. No, they're like, well, maybe we'll be able to repay Sandy for that loan.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It is
what?
So gay.
What part of this movie reads as straight to anybody watching it?
None.
Zero. I need a straight person to come on the show and explain to me what the heterosexual interpretation of this movie is supposed to be. Because I swear to God, this is one of the gayest movies I've ever watched.
Ever. And this is 137 people. Yeah. This is probably the top 5. Of our 137 should have been gays.
This is high up there for me in terms of like how canon gay the movie actually is. Like, listen, there's a lot of like hills I will die on of like this character's gay and you can't convince me otherwise. But like this movie gives us 2 gay characters. Just there's zero other. It's breaking me.
There's no other
Ellie.
interpretation. There's zero.
I can't do it. Nothing makes sense unless they're gay. This movie doesn't make any sense as a straight movie.
No, it's not.
There's
straight.
no argument for anything they do or say or how they ever act around each other. It doesn't make any sense.
It's gay. I mean, we can agree.
It's so gay.
Anything else, Leigh? I'm like, anything else about this movie? Did you have any other quotes that we missed?
Oh God, I think I hit most of them, but like, I literally can't. Oh, wait, sorry. There is one thing we absolutely need to talk about.
Oh,
Lisa Luder. Lisa
Luder.
She she turns around at that reunion and I almost fell off the couch. I was like, she's a fucking dyke. That is a 1997 dyke. She gets the haircut. She's got the power suit. She's got she's rocking the pants with her suit. Like, I think it is very deliberate that they put Romy and Michele both in in the pencil skirts. Suits.
Yeah.
Right? They put Lisa Luder in fucking pants. And Lisa been gay, man. Because that first flashback where we meet Lisa and it's the whole clique of mean girls at their table and they're looking at Romy and Michele over at their table and they're talking about like, oh, they're such losers. And Lisa Luder looks over at them and she goes, actually, I think they're sort of interesting. And then gets the immediate head swivel from her whole group. And she's like, I mean, lame, right? Like,
exactly. It's like literally screaming like, oh, they're gay just like me. And she's like, oh, never mind. I'm straight, girls. And
Lisa closeted from the top of the pyramid in high school, folks. That's the only difference, right?
And it is give me a freaking movie on Lisa Luder because girl works as a fashion editor at Vogue, right? And she clearly...
She's doing models, man.
She is fucking a lot of models.
She fucking pulls models, Lisa Luder. Not even a question. She's hot, dude. She's hot.
So hot. And also, it's like, she completely fell out with those high school girls because she's like, goodbye. Once she came out of the closet, why would you have any desire to be friends with these straight women, right?
Oh,
so she's like, bye. They're having babies. They're doing this like weird heterosexual thing where they hate their husbands, you know? Yeah. And she's like, bye, girls. I'm going to go be gay. And then she also at the reunion is supportive of Romy and Michele. She's like, no, my gay friends, Romy and Michele, actually have a lot of style. And let me tell you why. Right? Yeah. It's like, it's the gay mafia working together.
Yes. Yes. It was so pointed the way that like all the mean girls are like, oh, they're so dumb and stupid and like, and fat still. I don't know what. Yeah. They're being the worst, right? And like the person to put them in their place. Because Romy and Michele still can't do it, right? Like they're just sort of floundering. And Lisa Luder, that knife cuts deep, man. She's like, you held me in the closet like I could have been fucking Romy all through high school. Right? She buries them. She's like, actually, they look fucking dope. And I'm into it.
It's amazing.
And everyone there is like, well, this dyke knows, right?
Exactly.
Everyone knows who the coolest person in the room is. And
they're
it's that
gay.
fucking dyke.
Well, that's the thing, too, is like the older, that's why, it's so pointed. The older you get, how many of the gay kids who were bullied in high school become actors, become like the most famous person in the room, right? So it's like, you literally have that switch. I'm like, I was actually thinking about my 5-year high school reunion. I was like, I don't think I was like a loser in high school, but it's like, nobody, like I wasn't in the popular group, right?
Yeah, me neither.
But it was like, I showed up to my 5-year reunion gay. And a bunch of the popular girls kept coming up, like, because it's also Boston, so it's a little different, but like, they were like, you're an inspiration. Like, I also feel like it's just like, there's that moment where they're like,
amazing.
You are gay, therefore you're cool. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what Lisa Luder is. I also feel like really, really, really quickly, since we're talking about the other ancillary characters, we should talk about
Heather Mooney.
Heather Mooney.
You mean the other big fat dyke in this movie?
Yeah, literally her entire...
When are Heather and Toby gonna work their things out? You know, that's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm. Heather, like, smoking in the bed. Like, it's like we have so many different kinds of lesbians. Like, it's actually, like, this is a great queer film. We have, what, at least 4 queers? At least 4 queer women.
Yeah.
More than other gay films we get. More than Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
More than Ammonite.
Exactly. Romy and Michele is a Les-fucking-ssential.
More than Happiest Season.
But yeah, like Heather Mooney is that like loner lesbian. And that my favorite part is when she was also into Sandy Frank, where she's like, I was in love with Sandy Frank all in high school. And then she sees him when she's in the 10 year and she's like, oh, that's Sandy Frank? Like, now she's out of the closet. She's like, oh, she's like, wait, I thought that man was hot?
She built that beard pedestal high. I'll tell you what.
High. And then she has this weird thing with this guy who, like, never talked to her, right? Like, I don't know. No. I don't know how we can make that a thing, but...
I
also
needed
just her invention.
I needed her and Toby.
What is her invention called? It's also called, like, Lady something, right? The cigarettes are called Lady Fair.
Yeah, dude.
Like, she's like, you ever heard of Lady Fair cigarettes? She's basically saying, like, you ever heard of the L word? I wrote it. Heather Mooney is so fucking gay.
It's really something.
It is really something.
Yes. So we can't end without talking about Heather and Lisa. I mean, listen, this is what happens when you leave high school, right? Like, all of the gays had sort of gravitated towards each other. We talked about gay magnetism. That's what this is. This was the gay magnetism happening in high school, and they were all kind of fighting it a little bit, but, you know, they all get there in the end.
They all get there in the end. Wow.
Oh, God.
Romy and Michele
Ellie.
should have been gay, huh?
Should have been gay. Who are we shipping?
Okay, obviously Romy and fucking Michele, though, like, the OTP, like, soulmates, forever lovers, like, whatever you want to call them. I'm gonna say Rochelle.
Rochelle, Momi.
Rochelle or Momi. I mean, honestly, it's just Romy and Michele. Romy and Michelle's one word. Romy and Michelle's ship name is Romy and Michele. That's it.
It's a whole lot.
It is so much.
I want to put up for consideration 2 possible pairings. One of them is Heather and Toby, because I think that could work. Also, I'm going to say Heather and Lisa Luder.
I would vibe on that.
Yeah.
Hooter. Or Mooter.
I'm dead. I can't.
I know.
I fucking love Lisa Luder, though.
I know. She really is something.
She's a whole dyke, man.
She really
that
is.
That was like a gasp when she turns around, you know? Like, look at her. Look at her. She is the moment, listeners.
She is a stunning dyke.
She is a stunning dyke.
She really is.
She's incredible. Okay, so what would that give us? Hooter and Heather and Toby.
And Hobie. Yeah, also for Heather and Toby, I feel like it is a very much like, you know, she hates her so much she loves her.
Yeah.
Hobie.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. A lot of gay in this movie. It's
so much gay. Oh my god. Romy and Michele is gay. There's like no should have about it.
No. So this is a queer movie, honestly.
It's so queer.
If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor.
Ready for our Q and gay? Here we go.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. Who was the gayest in high school? A. Romy, B. Michele, C. Heather, or D. Sandy?
Ugh, boy, that's hard. I feel like in high school, I might have to go Michele. I feel like she seemed like there was just no interest. She was not into Sandy.
She wasn't even trying. She wasn't even trying.
No, I feel like she says later on that she's like, oh, I had a huge crush on this gay theater dude. But I'm like, I don't buy it. I think she knew.
She knew.
Yeah.
She knew.
Question 2, Ellie. Who was the gayest 10 years later out of A, Romy, B, Michele, or C, Lisa?
It's gotta be C, Lisa. That was a full ass dyke.
It's That's a dyke, man.
Lisa has got a lot of notches on that belt.
I'm not even joking, though. How do we get the sequel where they give us the Lisa 10 years storyline? I want to see the progression. I want to see Lisa come out. I want to see Lisa fuck some models.
I need it. Devil wears a strap on.
I need to lie down for an hour. Anyways, it's fine.
Amazing. All right, question number 3. Who is the least attractive man in the movie? A. Ramon, B. Sandy, C. Billy, or D. Cowboy?
Boy, it's a real race to the bottom here. But I've got to say it's Billy. Billy in the 10-year
Billy
reunion
is gross
specifically.
man. Very gross man.
He is not attractive.
No.
It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Okay, question 4, Ellie. What's your relationship status? A, married. B, engaged. C, living with someone. Or D, single. Apparently not an option either of them considered.
True. None of those options are correct for me, Leigh. But I will go with C, living with someone, question mark.
Fair enough. If your beds aren't 3 inches apart in a studio apartment, are you though?
Really blowing up my spot on the should have been gay Romy and Michele's high school reunion.
Listen, I think the important thing is not single, right? That's what we're going with?
Yep, let's call it
no lesbian has ever heard of single in a relationship status questionnaire.
Let's call it a soft launch.
Sure.
Great.
Question
number 5. What's the gayest giveaway that Romy and Michele are in love? A, no men at clubs. B, senior photo. C, beds. Or D, unable to fight.
God, they're so fucking gay. So here's the thing. I think the most obvious one from this should be obvious to any straight person watching this movie is going to be the way they interact with men at clubs. Because I'm sorry, but the idea that you're going to go out there and be like, I have one job and it's to get a boyfriend, and a man immediately hits on you and your response is to be like, I have to leave.
I have blood pooling in my shoe. Goodbye.
I have to leave. It is.
I'm having a medical emergency. Must leave.
Yeah. Gotta go.
So good.
Gotta not be here. Like, it's just crazy to me. It's that scene. Wild.
No straight explanation. Also, listeners, we are migrating away from Twitter because of course we are, because it's
we're leaving the hell site. Okay, please don't make me log into Twitter anymore. I can't do it. I'm not strong enough.
It's a
save me.
We have to get out of there.
Save Kristen.
Yes.
Just let us be free. We've migrated. Okay. If you are following us on Twitter and you want to keep following us, we are moving our Twitter to Blue Sky. That's one thing. So we are on Blue Sky now, but Blue Sky doesn't have polls. So what are we going to be doing instead, Ellie?
We're going to be putting them on our Instagram stories. So if you follow us on Instagram, you can answer this Q and Gay poll on our Instagram story now. And we love to hear what you have to say.
Let me hear you say, hip, 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 we're gay.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community, and we just want to shout out some of our favorite things every episode. So this episode, we want to shout out Sophia, who reached out to us on Instagram to say how much they wish they could come to France with us. Sadly, they and all their friends are only 16, so it's probably not in the cards right now.
Oh, Sophia.
Valid, Sophia. I'm so sorry. But listen, you know, just give it some time. When we do our trip in, what's like an appropriate amount of time for when you'll be like 22? 6 years from now in 2030, when we will all still be alive and the Earth will still be here and capable of sustaining humanity. We'll all do another trip then, okay? And it's going to be a great time.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
As always, want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
And Andrea Doucette. Thank you all so much for helping us make this show. We could not do it without you.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use for podcasts, make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop.
We also have videos going up on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch them.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show hosted by us with audio production by me. Our production assistant is Kristen Murison and other podcast shenanigans by Leigh Foster.
If you want to help support the podcast, a couple things you can do. The first one, it's free, it's easy. Leave us a rating and a review on whatever app you use to listen to podcasts. It helps new people find the show.
And if you want access to bonus episodes and our Patreon-only Discord chat, you can join at bit.ly/lespatreon.
If you want to get all of our merch, all of our new designs and new items are going up on our store. You can find it at bit.ly/lesmerch. We have so many ideas that we keep talking about behind the scenes. We're going to be putting up all of our holiday stuff that you can find, and we are just having fun with all of the new things that we can have as options, all the new items. So make sure you keep an eye on that space because new stuff's kind of going up all the time.
Remember, we have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings. You can find everywhere at $beanproud.
You can also check out our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can listen to all the episodes of our first show, The Flame, on any podcasting app, and our second show, Journey to the Heart, also on any podcasting app.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on all social medias at Ellie Brigida.
And you can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Leigh.
And
let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. Two guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude, stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're two dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice.
Brav Bros.
Good job.